Hello and welcome back to the Tuesday Checklist, the weekly show where we take a recent gaming topic and then run off with it on various conversational tangents for your viewing pleasure. Before we begin, make sure to click that notification bell so you know instantly when a new Tuesday Checklist goes live. So, this week, Dave and myself have been getting back into Rocket League, thanks to it making a turbocharged leap onto PlayStation now, and what do you know, it's amazing, and we'd totally forgotten. This got us thinking about what other brilliant games we rediscovered after a long hiatus, although the first entry isn't one of those other games, it's Rocket League. Off you go, Dave.
Rocket League, da 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 da, Rocket League. It's so amazing, everyone. I forgot, and now I've remembered, which may be why we've made this video this week. Rob and I played some Rocket League last week on the channel, just because, praise be, it's come to PlayStation Now. And I remember liking Rocket League. I remember thinking Rocket League was great. And I don't know why, just sort of drift, probably because I'm not a pro player who's like, rocketing around in the sky, sort of drifted away, went on to other things. I've been enjoying Apex Legends again. And Rob and I noticed that Rocket League had come to PlayStation Now, thought that would be a nice thing to play on the stream, like old times. I forgot how amazing the old times were. What have we been doing not playing Rocket League? It's so good.
It used to be all we played.
And I will petition that it's all we play again, Rob. I want to play more Rocket League with you. Or anyone, please play with me. Please play Rocket League with me. You must know Rocket League by now. It's football played by cars that have rockets in them, and it's so much more than that. It's so well put together. I think that, although the game is great, the whole sort of the mechanics of just getting online and getting into games is really great as well. It's quick. The developers worked really hard on it being quick, on being easy to just have a rematch with people. It looks in the background for matches whilst you're doing other things, all that kind of stuff. It takes away all of anything that gets in the way of you just playing the game, and playing the game is so joyous that I just particularly appreciate that. And I noticed that yesterday when we were playing just back-to-back games. There's a ranking system now which I don't remember previously, which Rob and I have been getting into. There are seasons now which I don't remember previously, and Rob and I are furious because there are community flags, everybody. There are community flags by big content creators, but not PlayStation Access. What's happened?
Yeah.
IGN had a community flag. Kind of Funny have a community flag.
What does a community flag
It's
do?
a flag that you put on your aerial and you drive around supporting your, chosen community.
What?
I know.
I don't know how you make.
I don't know how you make them. I don't think we make them. I think that's. I think probably.
Let's hack into the game.
Yeah, I think it might be Psyonix who made them. Rocket League. I know it's ridiculous because it's one of the it's massive, isn't it? It's a huge game. It's a huge esport now, but somehow I'd managed to go away from it for years, really, and it instantly just grabs you back. It's just so much instantaneous fun, and also a couple of amateurs, not noobs, amateurs like Rob and I, can still get in, having not played for a couple of years, and be relatively competitive. There's still strata of skill.
You've seen our 3 wins then.
I heard the noises.
At least 3.5 if I remember correctly. There's strata of skill. It's not like everybody is amazing. You can get in and you can play, and you can have some fun. So Rocket League, it's the best.
It's one of those games where even if you're annoyed at a loss, all you want to do is immediately just play another game.
Yes.
To put right the wrongs that have just happened.
Yeah, and I think that you are a particularly strange canary for that kind of a thing. I feel like often, Rob, when things go wrong, you would turn off the game.
Yeah.
But Rocket League, let's play again.
Yeah.
And right the wrong.
Okay, the game I'm going to talk about is not an old game at all, but it's a game that I played lots, then stopped playing because lots of other games came out, and now, very recently, I've started playing it again and have remembered how incredible it is. And that game is Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Yes.
which I started playing. I must have played about 25 hours of it when it first came out last year. And it's one of those games where when I was not playing it, all I could do was think about
when I'm next going to be playing it. Like I was at work thinking, yes, I can go home and play more Assassin's Creed Odyssey because it's such a well-made game. And then it was one of those sad situations where Assassin's Creed Odyssey came out, and then almost immediately after Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. So it's like, oh, flipping heck, like, I just don't have time. And like I think just before that, Dragon Quest XI had come out and Spider-Man had come out. Yeah. And so you've got 4 huge, amazing games, and I'm trying to play them all, but in doing so, I don't really play any of them to the degree that they deserve to be played. And then after Red Dead Redemption 2, Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, but what prompted me to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey again was I recently went on holiday, not to Greece, where Assassin's Creed Odyssey is set, but on my holiday I did go to really nice beaches and things and see like really nice scenery. It just reminded me, oh my god, this reminds me a little bit of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I want to be back in that lovely, sunny paradise.
So you thought that when you were actually on holiday?
Yeah,
you're like, get me out of this.
When I get home and play Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I did think when I get home, I want more of this. I want more of this lush green turquoise water in my life. I know a game I can get that from.
Should
that
we go
game
to the beach, Rob?
is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Stop trying to get me away from my PS4.
So I fired it up again, and I've had to start it from the beginning again because it's that classic thing where you get 25 hours in, you can't really remember what's happening. And I could probably have picked it up and gone on, but I felt like I wouldn't really be doing it justice if I wasn't, properly engaged. So I started again, and oh god, it's just so brilliantly made. It's so different to the earlier Assassin's Creed games. It's got this amazing RPG quest structure, and it's also got this amazing system called the mercenary system, where there are these badass warriors just hunting you down all the time. So the more assassinations you complete and the more notorious your character gets, you'll get people hunting you down, and they're like special warriors with like unique skills, and it's just there's someone in the world hunting you down at all times, and occasionally you'll brush up against them and it will create this amazing sort of tense cat and mouse situation where you're like, you're hiding, shall I go and fight them, are they going to be a bit too difficult for me? And that is brilliant, and that happens all the time. And then you're going around on your ship in like the best water graphics probably on PS4, just these incredible ocean physics, and it's just an amazing world to be in. And I'd forgotten how Moorish it was when you complete a quest in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You're like, oh, I'll just do one more. I'll just do one more mercenary. I'll just do one more cult assassination. I'll just find one more little bit of treasure in the ocean. And it constantly is pulling you forward. And it's just, the beauty of it as well is insane. Like, you get that, that age-old cliche where you're like, oh, if you're going to see a mountain in the distance, you couldn't go there. But it really is like that in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And not only can you go there, you can climb over it, and over the mountain will be this other stretch of amazing looking landscape. And there's this one amazing place for me, I can't remember what it's called, but you get to the top of this amazing hill, and you can look down onto this bay, and you get to climb all the way down there, and then there's a ship there, and oh god, it's so good. And there's a photo mode too, you can take photos of dolphins and sharks and stuff, and I've just forgotten what an absolute life-swallowing joy playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey is. And hopefully I can get a good stretch of playing it now without anything else coming out and ruining my time with it. So yeah, that's my plan.
All right, so this is a game that I also discovered on Now, and I hadn't played it for so long, and it's absolutely taken over my life again. And it is Red Faction Guerrilla.
Oh my god, that's
I know.
a blast from the past.
So it's something I haven't even thought about for years.
Yeah.
And then I just suddenly, I think I'd had a bad day, and I was like, I want a really destructive game, which I know doesn't sound like me. And then I remembered that you can quite literally destroy almost everything in that game.
Yeah.
It's so fun. So it's on Mars, already great, because I'm in space.
Yeah.
And so it's got kind of a Far Cry story in that you're trying to wrestle control of Mars back from this crazy Earth defense force. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
And and so they've basically got outposts all over it, and it's very similar to Far Cry in that you have to go and take those back from them, like lower their control in those areas, and once you've done enough of it, then you kind of take them back Mars. I don't really care about the story that much in it, because the main thing I want to do is just wreck everything, and basically that's what they've let you do. So in previous ones, you used to be able to genuinely destroy everything, and it wasn't particularly strategic, there wasn't like any thought to it, but this one, they really want you to destroy things, to complete missions, to come up with clever ways to take people out. So like, wait until they're crossing a bridge and then like smash the, the legs of the bridge out, which is just, as soon as that, the first time I had to do that, I was like, oh, my perfect game. And there's just, they've gone basically mad on all the different ways that you can destroy things. So you can plant explosives, or you can like fly in the air with a jetpack and shoot rockets at like the top of buildings so that they'll fall down and destroy more stuff, or you can like steal an armored car and drive it into things so that like it just completely destroys a building or a bridge, or like it's so destructive, and it's hilariously fun. It never gets old for me as well. It doesn't matter if it's the first bridge I've destroyed or the 100th, I'm still having the absolute best time. And they've even got like, there's a multiplayer mode, which I used to do a lot, which is like, it's basically just how much destruction can you do in this amount of time, which is brilliant. Like, I love anything like that. And so it's obviously that makes it sound a bit simple, and like parts of it are, you can genuinely just be like, kill this person, and I'm like, cool, let me gather all the explosives and like sledgehammers I can find and like wreck everything around them. But then there's also like, as it goes on, you get more destructive, but it also makes you have to think about it a little bit more. So there would definitely be like missions that were more difficult, because they'd be like, well, now you can't use your precious sledgehammer, you've got to use these like these specific few explosives, and you've got to figure out the best places to put them to take down this building, and you can't, it's not unlimited anymore, and so you have to really think about it, which is difficult for me because I just want to smash stuff, but it actually, it makes it gives kind of a longevity to the destruction and the destroying things, that it's not just kind of the same thing over and over again. It does make you think about it, and it does make you, in a way, it kind of rewards you for all the destruction you've done so far, because it's like, have you learnt the weak points of buildings? Do you know how a bridge will fall down? Which support you need to take out first, and so like that. So it's like, once you've gone mad and done a huge amount of wrecking things and killing people and just having a great time, it will then let you use that knowledge in a more strategic way. And and it's just brilliantly fun. It's like still as good, and I was worried because obviously it's like an older game and it's on now, and I was like, oh, I bet it's gonna not be quite as fun as I remember, and it's just way more fun. It's so good, and it's as I said, a game I hadn't thought about, and now it's all I can think about. Like, as soon as I'm even the slightest bit frustrated, I'm like, where's reflection go? Like, hand me a controller. And so I've had an absolute blast playing it again, and I've been so surprised at just how good it still feels.
This is a very hard question, because like usually I can spend Saturday mornings for like a good 2 hours going on YouTube and watching games that I used to play, and just watching like the first 10 minutes of each game and having a nostalgic rush. But there's one game that recently it's kind of in the know-how at the moment in like current media culture, and I was talking about it, and every time I think about it and play it, I always just forget how amazing it is. Even though I say it's good, it's even better than I think I say it is, and that is Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue on the PlayStation 1. Look, this game is Rob just collapses. No. This game is legit amazing. Like, so I'm gonna be sat here and I'm gonna say like, oh yeah, it's really good. But seriously, when you replay it, it's so much more than just like, like a film-based Disney game. It's got like different abilities you can use. The way they've recreated all the worlds is fantastic. Buzz, he feels like a little Buzz Lightyear that you control, and everything's really big. There's a level when you're on like a junkyard, and there's all these massive cranes, and you get to jump on them, press buttons, solve puzzles, and it's really, really good. Even though that the puzzles are kind of for a bit of a younger generation. Like, there's one where you're just like, oh, you have to make the color purple, and you have red, blue, and yellow. How are you going to do this? Like, when you're playing it when you're a bit older, some puzzles you're like, yeah, okay, I know how to do this. But it's like when you're playing the whole thing in general, it's really atmospheric. The music in it is really good, like designed for each area. Like, it follows really well with the plot of Toy Story 2, but also adds new elements into it, which you're like, oh yeah, I could definitely see this working. And The boss battles are really creative. I mean, there's one which is really random. It's probably the most random, but there's like a bin, and then he becomes like a big sewage slime monster. But he's pretty tough. He can be pretty tough. And it's like, you know, when you remember being stuck on something as a kid, and then you revisit it, and then you kind of like can do it really easy if you just use the super power booster laser.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
all. Like, yeah.
What did I use the power booster laser before?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called right now, and I'm feeling really
No,
bad.
I'm sure that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're sure that's it. But every time I revisit this game, and even replaying it recently, I always kind of like, I pop into it because I always end up talking about it, and then people don't believe me when I say how good I think it actually is. And then when I play it, I'm
I'd
like,
like to know what that feels like.
but then when I play it, I'm like, this is, I'm truth. I'm telling the truth. Play it yourself and you'll have a great time with it. And it's just one of those games that I can just keep on playing it over and over and over again. It's just so charming. It's so charming and brilliant. And it's like when you're selecting the world, you've got Etch, like, you know, the Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
And then you have to like, everything's been sort of doodled out for you. And it's so good. And even if, let's say, you haven't watched Toy Story 2, there are cutscenes of Toy Story 2 in the game. So, yeah.
Very good.
So now I feel like I'm doing a sales pitch for you guys on like why you should play Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue.
Yes.
But honestly, it's just such, like, I always say how good it is, and then from me saying how good it is, I'll replay it just for a little bit, or sometimes I'll play the whole thing depending on how I'm feeling. And it's just, I just have a fantastic time with it. And I've got a save file on my PS3, so whenever I do boot it up, you know, just for like a bit of a nostalgic rush, or I just fancy a little bit of that Toy Story charm, I'll just boot it up, and then I'm just like, yes, I am so happy I've just revisited this. It's still so good, and yeah, it's just amazing.
Did you start again, or did you carry on? Because
started again.
I'd be tempted to start again.
I did say I started again. You weren't
He
paying
said a
attention,
whole
obviously.
big section where he talks about
you?
it.
So I fired it up again, and I've had to start it from the beginning again. What were you
I was
doing?
picturing
Mucking about with the camera is what you were doing when I was telling you
I was
about that.
picturing the beaches and thinking about my time with Assassin's Creed.
This explains a lot, like why you're always rushing for the same balls as I am instead of staying in goal, doesn't it, Dave? Never listening to me. Let us know what games you've happily rediscovered in the comments, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and click that notification bell so you always know when a new Tuesday checklist goes live. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
For the players.